What's up, you guys? Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Happy Sunday, happy charting day, as I like to call it. This video is going to be recapping the watch list that I put out last week, as well as the indices and how they moved. We'll be taking a look at that watch list that I put out on Sunday, and then the more narrowed down one that I put out on Wednesday, and seeing how it did as we prepare for this interesting week ahead, to say the least. March 27th through the 31st. If that date range doesn't trigger anything in your head, it's going to be the end of the quarter. So we're going to be getting quarterly closes on our candles. We're going to see quarterly flow as well, and we might be seeing some sector rotation going on here as well towards the end of the quarter. So just be prepared for that as you have your day trades and as you have your swing trades. But before we dive in, take a look at the indices and the watch list and how everything panned out for the whole week. If you guys can, do me a huge favor, drop a like down on this video, hit that subscribe button, make sure you ring that bell for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help me out a lot. Also, if you're looking for a wonderful community to join, there's a link down below in the description of this video to 8x Trades. It's an absolutely wonderful Discord community. Not only do they hand out really good alerts, but they also teach you how to trade, which is one thing that is absolutely beautiful that a lot of communities don't do. Because like they always say, you fish for a man once, he eats for a day. But you teach a man how to fish, he eats forever. But let's dive on in and take a look at these indices. So we're going to start with the SPY, and we'll work our way down to IWM. So on the week, really, I was looking for the 3-2 up on SPY. 3-2 down, 2 up. We got that on SPY. Really, the interesting thing headed into the week was we had that 2-1 setup. We created that inside day on Monday, and I remember looking at Twitter and seeing people just talk about, oh my God, we have a double inside day. There was people tweeting about like how rare it is and all that kind of stuff. And let me tell you, we got a nice gap up. Jerome Powell came in, and Janet Yellen and all them didn't have a good agreement. Deposits are all backstopped. Not all deposits are backstopped up to the FDIC limit. And then we had this very volatile Thursday, and then we created this nice failed 2 down here on the day on Friday. For the month, we're pretty much sitting at a doji, and for the quarterly, it's going to share the same pattern with the QQQs. You have this bearish Randy Jackson setup. You have a 2 down, 2 down, 2 up. So that's the really thing that I'm going to be looking for going for SPY into the next quarter is, how quickly do we trigger 2 down, or do we trigger 2 up first and then we go crazy and somehow trigger an outside bar on the quarter, which is entirely possible. So you got full time frame continuity to the upside. So really the huge thing is going to be looking at 399.29 and then looking at 405.05 are going to be the upside targets really to take a look at. Taking a look at Qs, the Qs by far are the strongest indice headed into last week and still going right now. The Qs are doing damn good. We got full time frame continuity to the upside. We finally made a 2 up after not 1, not 2, but 3 back-to-back outside bars. That's absolutely insane. Each one getting bigger. The volatility in the Qs is just bar none right now. So we're going to be looking for that continuation going up into this week. On the month, we created that outside bar here on the Qs. So really, next month, looking ahead, are we going to trigger 2 up? For the quarter, like I said with the SPY, 2 down, 2 down, 2 up. You got that bearish Randy Jackson. Now with the Qs, since this quarter is so strong to the upside, I'm really going to be looking for, if we trigger that 2 up here and we hit 334.42, and if we start seeing that selling pressure step in, it might be outside quarter kind of thing, because the Qs do move very, very quickly compared to the S&P 500. Now, if we do take a look at the Dow Jones Diamonds, Dow Jones is definitely, like, if you had to rank them in order, it would be QQQ, SPY, and Dow Jones right now, followed by IWM at the bottom right now. So on Monday, we got that 2 up. We got the 2 up, gap up on Tuesday. Jerome Powell came in, really introduced the volatility. We got the 2 down, 2 up, and you're kind of seeing the same pattern across all of the indices here. We were looking for that 3, 2 down, 2 up. We got it. It's really kind of like a shooter almost to a degree on this 2 up here. So it's going to be interesting to see how this week plays out for the Dow Jones Diamonds. On the month, you got the 1, 3, 2 down. It's kind of looking like a doji here on the month. So it's going to be interesting to see if we push it up and create it even more as a tighter doji, which is just that very small body. Now on the quarter, we have a 2 down, outside bar 1. Now, really what's interesting about this pattern, it's called multiple things. It's called a holy grail. It's also called a harami pattern. This would be a bearish harami right now because this is at the top side of it, and we have the wicks here that we can see that selling pressure has stepped in on both of these wicks. So if you're playing calls next quarter, look for it above 332.42. Put your stops, I would say, around 322.32. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. And if you played puts, I would play it the opposite way. Trigger would be 322.32. Stop would be 332.42. Also, you can play the wicks as well. I just prefer to play the bodies. Now let's take a look here at our next indice and how it did. IWM, by far, like I said, the weakest going in, but honestly, it could make a nice move going in this week. So I'm definitely going to have my eye on it. On the week, we did create another 2 down. So this is 3 weeks of 2 down in a row. And you created a nice doji here on the week. So you have long wicks to the downside and you got long wick to the upside. So it's going to take a strong move for IWM to pop up. But if you do create that 2 up, you're setting up for that bearish Randy Jackson back down to fill this wick back to the downside. Now the thing to take a look at here on the month is you have your 2 up, 2 down. So you're setting up for a bullish RJ on the monthly pattern. Now, the thing that I really don't like about IWM here is we have a 1, 2 down, 2 up. So we create that 2 up. We've pretty much almost created what's called equal highs, and we've come all the way back down. So is it possible that we could see IWM try to push for an outside quarter this week? Definitely possible. There's been some flow that shows that people are trying to push it in that direction. So it's going to be something to keep in mind. Now let's go on, hop in, take a look at the watch list. Let's start out with XLP, so consumer staples to the upside. Taking a look at it, we got price target 1 and 2 at 72.71 and 72.98. We didn't hit price targets at 73.26 and 74.01. But hey, we got the squeeze to the upside. We got buyer stepping in, so we might be seeing that going into this next week. Walmart was an absolutely just beautiful play this whole entire week, really. Like if you scalped Walmart here and there, you got a part of it, but also if you're a swinger, you can get in, and this thing looks like it's going to move. It had some flow going into the end of the week. We got a 2 up here on Monday. You got your 2 down, 2 down, 2 up, and then you had this nice 2 up as well. You got PT1 out of this, which was at 141.68. We almost wicked PT2 at 142.65. So on the week, when we take a look at this, we got that 2 down, 1, 2 up, and we're shifting that direction. We also have this trend line as support as well. Taking a look at KO, KO was, like I talked about, pretty much stuck within a box. We're up here at this outer box. We did get PT1 of 60.90, so it's going to be interesting to see what KO does moving forward. If we take a look at the weekly time frame on this, we got that 2 up as well. So really, can we break 60.90 and finally test 61.58? Hopefully. This is a ticker that I have on watch, but it's not on the top of my watch list. Now, if we take a look at MO, which was our next one, I was playing this to the downside. We really got a nice move to the downside on MO. So Monday, we had the inside bar. We created the 2 up, failed 2 up, and then 2 down, and you got a vicious move down here. We broke through 44.99, and then we pretty much got our second PT here of 43.18 within a few pennies. Our full time frame continuity right now outside of the day is to the downside, and the day is an inside bar. So I would be looking for Mo to continue to have Mo problems and squeeze down as this indicator squeeze indicator is pointing out, and you got a large amount of selling pressure as well. Let's take a look at 8x Trade's favorite stock, by far Costco. Costco, I do love you. If you don't understand that reference, you need to go watch that movie. For the whole entire week, Costco pretty much chopped sideways, but on Friday we got this nice 2-up candle. We take a look at the weekly time frame. We did create that 2-up as well. So you have a 2 down, 2 up, 2 down, 2 up. You got a squeeze indicator that's trying, the MACD is trying to roll over on the weekly. On the daily, we are seeing a red squeeze, which is a medium squeeze. Like at volume, you're seeing buyers step in, so definitely a thing to watch going into next week. Was pretty okay going in for last week. Taking a look at XLC, really on Wednesday, we got that outside bar followed by 2 inside days. Taking a look at it, we got back-to-back outside bars. On the weekly time frame, we created that 2-up. Hallelujah. Let's see if XLC can test 59.79. You do see here on the volume, we got a decent amount of green volume that did step in. So that's one thing to look for. Next stock to take a look at, Netflix. Oh my God. This was like, I was not expecting this to be this much of a banger of a play, but shout out Zeus. If you don't follow Zeus on Twitter, I'll drop his link down below in the description of this video, because he hit Netflix, I think, for over like 600% or something like that. It was absolutely beautiful. On Monday, got the 2 down, failed 2 down here. You got your 2 up here. You're seeing a lot of indecision and chop. And then all of a sudden, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is a trend line break. Yep, it is a trend line break, ladies and gentlemen. You draw this trend line here. Got the nice crap here into close, and then what did it do? Boom! And this is a nice, pretty much bull pennant the way that you look at it on the hourly time frame. And did the squeeze indicator tell us? Yes, it did. Did volume tell us? Yes, it did. Like, this is a serious amount of volume shifting here in the Netflix. So Netflix going into next week is definitely going to be an interesting stock to take a look at. We might get a little bit of a pullback on it. Next stock we looked at was TSM. TSM, really, this is part of the semiconductor ETF SMH. We did get that 2 up on the week. We take a look here at the weekly and how we progressed. Monday, we got the outside bar, got that really nice gap up as the indices gapped up on Tuesday. Wasn't really affected as much by the volatility. I'm surprised this can create an outside bar, honestly, on the daily. But you got your 2 up, your 2 up, your 2 down. Stratters, what are we looking for? We're looking for the 2 up. We know where we're going to put our stops. And once we get that 2 up, we know what our PT is immediately for this going into tomorrow. The next one to take a look at is Google. Google is incredibly strong, and the thing that I'm starting to see is tech is incredibly strong right now, headed towards the end of the quarter. We take a look at the weekly time frame. We got that 3-2 up on Google. And then if we take a look at the daily time frame, we on Monday, good Lord, we had the 2 up inside bar, 2 up. You got your shooter, got your inside bar, you got your failed 2 down. So really, the thing to be looking at going into Google next week is going to be 108.82. You do have a decent amount of buyers stepping in here. I mean, on Wednesday, we had a lot of sellers. That's not really a lot of surprise given with the news that went on in the disagreement between the Treasury and Jerome Powell. Coin is the next one to take a look at, and oh my God, full disclosure, I was in Coin. I had a position on this. Like, it was an absolute banger of a play. Double outside weeks followed by a 2 up. This is a failed 2 up. And the whole reason why it was a failed 2 up and it didn't hit outside week, in my personal opinion, is because that darn Wells notice came out and dropped this thing back down, which when I think about it in my head, that says some institution wants back in before it creates its next leg of wherever it goes, up or down kind of thing. But this thing was an absolute beauty. So on Friday, we had the 2 up. We had a hammer 2 up. We pushed here so hard on Tuesday and then immediately pushed back. That Wells notice came in after hours on Wednesday. Thursday, we fell. Friday, we created that inside day. MSTR wasn't one of the better stocks, definitely for this week. We pretty much just chopped sideways. Take a look at the weekly. We did trigger 2 up, but we came pretty much right back down once we got up here around 280, not even 287. We got 281.73. So not really that good of a trade on MSTR for the week. It's okay. We take a look at Mara. Mara gave us PT1 here at $88.66. Good Lord, I can't get my tongue out of the way. On the monthly time frame, we're outside on that week. Did we create a 2 up? We created a failed 2 up. So like we did okay, but this is a huge, this would be, okay, can I scalp this? Can I scalp it? Can I scalp it? Yes, you can scalp this, but swinging this is all chop. You take a look at Riot as well, pretty much chopping as well. Kind of looks like Diamond-y to a degree. We'll have to see how it goes out. We do have buyers stepping in here as well. So definitely does look like someone is wanting to buy this up. Now that was the watch list I put out on Sunday. Let's take a look at the watch list that I put out on Wednesday and how we did. I was looking for a lot of these things to go to the downside. Some gave it to us, some didn't. Roku pretty much gave us price target 1 here at 59.80. We're still looking for the downside here, 56 and 54 respectively. As well, we have a failed 2 up on the week, so we could be looking for that move down and creating that downward candle. Now going into Microsoft, this trend line still is being respected. You have a 2 up, you have your 2 up, and you have a nice inside day. Didn't touch any of our downside targets that we were looking for, and some very interesting flow came in pretty much at the end of the week on Friday. That a giant beluga whale, as best as I can describe it, pretty much was selling I think it was the 280 puts for 414, which is crazy to think about because this stock is barely above 280. So they're thinking, if they want to be profitable, they're thinking Microsoft by 414's got to be trading above 280. That's going to be something to keep a watch out. We might not see any of these downside targets, and we might have to look to the little bit to the left and see what's going on over here, and if we're going to be looking for those upside targets. Now, CAT was definitely one of the stocks that we got a nice, decent move on for the rest of the week. So on Wednesday, we got that outside bar, that 2 down, and then we gapped down here on Tuesday. The thing that I really want to point out is trend lines are very useful to use because we rejected with this 3, we got the 2 down, we came up, tested the trend line again, and we rejected. And you're talking a move from 224 all the way down to 213. That's a very hefty move within the week. We take a look at Disney. Disney did the same thing, pretty much came up, almost tapped the trend line, and then came all the way back down. We got price targets 1, 2, and we almost got price target 3 as well. If we take a look here at Tesla, Tesla pretty much just gave us price target 1. When we take a look at it on the daily time frame, we just hammered off of it and wicked it, and now we're looking here moving with Tesla. This would be interesting to see if we make a 2 up. So overall, Watchlist did pretty good. The huge winners definitely off of this was Coin. Coin was absolutely wonderful. Walmart was a winner. Costco definitely was a winner. Google was definitely a winner. So we did have some winners. We did have some losers. But overall, was a really good week. So let's prepare for the next week ahead. And like I said in the beginning of this video, if you can, do me a huge favor. Drop a like down this video. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.